Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will. And for those of you who are wondering, well, he just changed his background. What happened to 305? Well, I noticed that I'm wearing a very dark blue shirt, so I thought that it blended way too much into the background for those of you who care about that kind of stuff. So I figured I'll just look like a floating head, in my video. So that's pretty much it. But don't worry, we will get the logo back up and at 'em real soon. I Crazy times, man, crazy times from transfer portals to recruiting. It has been an insane time for college football, and we haven't yet had signing day. We haven't yet reached the bowl games, and we haven't yet reached the national championship game. So it has been a crazy and insane time this past week, especially in terms of the transfer portal for the NCAA and collegiate football teams and fans of all football teams and universities and stuff like that. From prime time going to Colorado, from basically Alabama having a bunch of guys jump into the transfer portal, as well as the Canes, as well as Texas A&M. So it has been absolutely crazy. But the purpose of the show today is to go over something that's got Canes fans going crazy online and a bit nervous, and that is Cormani McLean's potential flipping to Alabama. All right, as it has been reported, by local Canes insiders, that possibly it's not yet been official. Now things may change when we air this episode, but it's been official that Nick Saban has asked Cormani McLean to visit Alabama sometime this weekend and take another look at the university facilities, and once again another sit down with the head coach over at Alabama and his staff as well. And I get why Canes fans are nervous, because Alabama's Alabama, and Alabama's gonna be just as relentless as Miami is, and as other programs are gonna be to try to get this kid. Cormani McLean is the number one defensive back in the country. All right. On his high school career, he's been a flat out stud. Pretty much it's a no fly zone with Cormani, as he had for his career 15 interceptions, over there in Lakeland, and a pretty solid tackler as well. So he's the kind of guy that could be a game changer in your secondary if you acquire him. As far as being a young recruit, young freshman, he's a guy that could play right away, or could come in, and so on, and contribute to your football team immediately based upon his coverage skills and so on. So obviously Canes fans are nervous about this whole situation, and I understand why. Our defensive backfield, number one, has been thinned out, as many of our players that have transferred or entered the transfer portal have been part of our secondary. Like, for example, DJ Ivy, he's decided to go to the NFL, and then you have Blades deciding to take a look at the transfer portal as well. And then you have Isaiah Dunston leaving as well. And who knows what's going to happen later on? Who knows what happens with Kamara Rogers, Chris Graves, those kind of guys. I think Chris Graves is staying, but Kamara Rogers having a run-in with Joe Adai and stuff like that, at least with his father, that could be something up in the air, as well. So the Miami Hurricanes in general, are getting depleted at the defensive line position, and also at the secondary position as well, because of the transfer portal. So that's something that worries me and worries Canes Nation in regards to what is going to happen with Cormani McLean. If you ask me, I think he's going to stay. And the reason why I think he's going to stay is because in his social media in particular, he has gotten love, especially from Canes recruits. He's mentioned that he is a Canes commit. He's got pictures of himself committing to the University of Miami, as well. So I think he's going to stay, but you never know. Everyone thought this kid was going to go to Florida, and I was one of them. I thought it was a battle between Miami and Florida. I never thought Alabama was ever in the picture, and he became a Cane. It's kudos to Mark Cristobal, and also to Marcus Van Dyke sealing that deal as well. And so he became a Cane. And but Alabama's Alabama, and Travaris Robinson and Nick Saban are not going to stop trying to get this kid, because he could really be a game changer for them as well over there in University of Alabama. The one thing I will say that will keep Cormani here as is his relationship with DVD. DeMarcus Van Dyke has been proven to be a very, very good recruiter. All right, and he's very well at connecting with these kids. Damari Brown is another one that I believe also has had a very close relationship with DVD, even though Damari has not yet decided. Um, between University of Miami, Florida State, Alabama, etc. I do think that DVD has a way of connecting with these kids. So I think if Cormani does stay, you know, I do believe it will be because of his relationship with DeMarcus Van Dyke. That's why I hope DeMarcus Van Dyke, aside from being our defensive analyst, gets a position, sooner or later as maybe a D coordinator or a full blown position coach, etc. Because Marcus is a good recruiter. As a matter of fact, he might even be he might have even out recruited Jamal Adai this year. But that's that we don't know and stuff like that. Jamal Adai has had his name on several recruits as well, including Damari, as well. But DVD has been, as a secondary recruiter, from what I understand, has been able to cash in on some of these kids that have decided to commit to the Canes, or at least looking at Miami as a potential school. So again, 15 interceptions. He's tall as well, over 6'1". He's about 180 pounds. Not that big, but he'll fill out, as time goes on as well. Very good in coverage, could tackle, no fly zone. He will pick you off, jump ball situations. He has a good vertical. He's listed as an athlete as well. He has played a little wide receiver. So he's a guy who's a multifaceted player. All right. So he is somebody that can make a huge difference right away for the University of Miami. In particular, but Cane fans, I understand the threats. Nick Saban is Nick Saban, T-Rob is T-Rob, Alabama's Alabama. The national championships, the lure, the atmosphere as well of it being a complete college town is something that could be attractive to someone like Cormani. But I do believe my personal opinion, that Cormani McLean will stay at Cane. All right, that's just because from what I've seen on social media. He hasn't yet taken the visit. Okay, so that's he's been offered the visit. I think he's contemplating the visit. He hasn't yet taken it though, so that's something to consider. Okay, so do not fret, Canes fans. Whatever happens, much luck to the kid. He's a young man. He has a right to go wherever he wants to go. But I do hope that he does stay with Canes Nation. All right, because in the end, it's all about the you. What are you gonna say? It's all about the you. Okay. So that's it. Again, short, straight to the point. If you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports Now. Once again, I am Will. Stay safe. God bless. See you soon. Go Canes.